Okay, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are when you're watching this. I want to talk about a few things today, but the most important thing that I want you to get out of this is that cigar smokers should be good people. We should be better people than most people. We don't just go out of our way or try not to do the wrong thing, but we should go out of our way to do the right thing. And that's what this video is about. This video is about, as cigar smokers, we're meditating, we're analyzing life, we're looking around, we're taking a step back while everyone else is going nuts. We're taking a step back. Try to look at things from other people's points of view other than just your own. Try to be global in your thinking process. Don't just try not to be a bad person, but go out of your way to be a better person, okay? Privada Cigar Club members, I believe they know I'm a good person, and I believe most of them are good people, okay? And I'm not speaking about anyone in particular or any situation of any time. I'm just saying cigar smokers, as the next generation of cigar smokers, we need to try to be better than people were, okay? That's my opinion. Now, the other day I did a video on how to store cigars, and it was awesome. Shout out to Johnny Taquitos. During the course of the video, I made mention of a product and was like, oh yeah, I reached out to these guys and I guess they didn't think it was a good idea to partner with us. And the truth is, I think they've worked with every other cigar club in the game, which I take us out of that category of cigar club. This is way beyond a cigar of the month club, okay? But the point is I think to most small thinkers, they'd be like, oh, well, they work with all my competitors. Why should I give them any shine, right? Okay? And I feel like I was a little bit, I didn't do anything wrong, but again, it's not that I don't want to do anything wrong. It's that I want to go out of my way to do the right thing. Okay, and this is me going out of my way to do the right thing. I have no financial affiliation. I cannot profit from this product. As of right now, I don't have it in my shop. I don't know if it will go in the shop or not, okay? There are other people who claim to be our competitors that have it in their store. And here I'm gonna give them the best effing plug that they'll ever get, okay? So I went out for a run the other day trying to do, always trying to be a better progressive person, you know what I mean? And I went out for a run the other day, and when I got back, I looked at my cell phone, and this was right when the video was starting to pop off, and I saw, hey, this is Tommy from Humidimeter. And I was like, let me see if I'm saying that, Humidimeter. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And so I made a comment in the video. I was like, oh, these guys didn't think it was a good idea to partner with me. Why? I did that because I get a little bit frustrated sometimes. There is an old guard in the cigar industry that does not want us to be successful. It's just the way it is. And you know the brands. I mean, you've seen it. It is what it is. And I'm not even saying don't buy those brands. I'm just saying they're not in our corner for sure, and they're not going to do anything to support us. And when I reach out to a company with the best cigar smokers in the industry. I'm talking about, Privada cigar smokers run social media, run YouTube. You can't put out a video without one of our members commenting, liking. I mean, these are the best people in the cigar industry. So if I reach out to you and you're trying to sell a product in the cigar world and you don't call me back, well, then I just automatically assume that you're part of that other thing, that, the dinosaur situation, okay? And so that's fine, all right? And even then, I still used the product for the video, and I'm kind of glad that I hadn't made contact with them because I was able to give you my honest gut, this is how I feel about this product, but I still used it. And why did I use it? I used it because I need to know some gauge, whether it's accurate or, whether it's extremely accurate or just a little bit accurate. I still need to get an idea of where my cigars are in regards to humidity, and it's basically the only product that does that, okay? Now, it has its flaws, okay? But I think what I'm trying to say here is when I got that text, if I was anyone else, I probably just would have deleted that text and moved on. I reached out to them twice, they never reached out to me. For all I know, he wanted to tell me to go screw myself. But we don't do that here. We act with integrity, right? Okay? Everything comes from the top. We act with integrity. So I called back, and it turns out it's a really nice family-owned business, and they understand their product and they know its flaws and they can tell you how to use it better. So he was about to start pitching me on, oh, well, this, and so this is one of the programs that I'm doing with you guys, is kind of giving you an inside info thing as to how this business works and to what the conversations that I have are like with these manufacturers and stuff. And so I was like, stop right there. I'm gonna FaceTime you. He was like, I don't have FaceTime. I said, okay, I'm gonna call you on audio and I'm gonna record the conversation and you get to tell your side of the story or your pitch on your product to everyone. And so the two things that I basically learned were these two prongs. The prongs aren't what's reading it, it's what's between the prongs that it's reading. Two things. One, if you want to be more accurate, going through the tip, but the tip is going to tell you what's holding more moisture. So this part of the cigar holds more moisture. Okay? So I think the foot is still the better accurate, or the better reading, because it's going to give you the driest point of the cigar, and that's what I want to know about. And the other thing was, when you put it in, pinch it. That's what she said. But when you put it in, she never said that. That'd be awfully weird. But when you put it in, pinch the cigar together so it gets more surface to grip in between the two prongs, and it's going to give you a better reading. Yes, when you put it in, it does give a higher reading at first, and then it kind of goes down. Now, he claims it settles. Mine always kind of moves around a little bit, but it does get to a number eventually. And another thing that I learned from the conversation was it's really great tool in a sense, because it's letting people understand that 70-70 is just a preference. It's not a rule. You may like your cigars a lot less humid than other people do. And I prefer my readings to come out around the 62 mark. He preferred them around the 68 mark. I mean, it just depends, on your personal preference. So it allows you to do that. Is it the most perfect product in the world? I don't think so, but it's the only product that we have right now that does what it does. And I think they're a great family-owned business, and I don't mind supporting them. And I think that I'll let that speak volumes about Privada and the way we do business. And if you're a company that's out there trying to take away from other companies, going after other companies' ways of doing business, going after other companies' support, doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. Because chances are the things that you're baiting these people with are going to be the complete opposite of the reason why they were gravitated towards that company or brand to begin with. Never try to take away. There's enough for everyone. There is an abundance out there. And I've been waiting to say that for a while, but there is an abundance out there. The little movement that we have is probably 3% of the actual cigar market. So imagine what's out there. Imagine what we can grow to. Imagine what other people can grow to. But if you're trying to saturate a market with the same idea in a sense, good luck. So, moral of the story, don't be a good person, be a great person. Represent cigar smokers as great people. And if you see a nasty cigar smoker, call them out on it. I just wanted to stress that point and give you information on the Humidimeter, because I think they're good people, man. Shout out to Tommy over there. Take care. Okay, so Luigi, when I poke this into a cigar, let's go over that a little bit. When I poke this into a cigar, you want me to kind of squeeze a little bit around there?
Only if it's not only around. You don't want to squeeze the sideways on it because you'll bend the probe. You just want to squeeze the top and bottom a little bit. Only if it's a loosely packed cigar. That'll just help to make better contact.
Okay.
But so most of the premium cigars, all the boutique stuff, usually is a tighter pack. You don't have to do that. Okay.
Okay.
So what we tell people to do is also check the cap. Now, that might be sacrilege because people are like, well, I'm not going to cut it. Why do I want to cut the cap? If you understand cigars, I would say all, but 90% of the moisture actually wicks in through the foot, ironically. So sometimes you'll see the moisture gets trapped in the cap. So when you check cigars, 95% of the time, or thereabouts, the cap will actually be higher. Number one, the tobacco is a little tighter in there when they roll it. And and it's actually the moisture doesn't have anywhere to go. So when you poke through the cap, you get a higher reading, and it'll also, you could put it back in storage like that because it allows the moisture or humidity to flow through. You get a better equalization through the cigar.
Interesting. And
Right.
how long ago did you invent this product?
Last year.
Okay, so it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's been on the market for about a year.
Okay, and there's really nothing else like this, is there?
There is not. No, actually, this invention came after another invention that I'm actually going to be putting on the market. And what I wanted to do was to actually be able to measure how much moisture was going in a cigar. Come to find out, there's nothing out there. I mean, you can go to a hardware store and buy one of these moisture meters to put on your plant. I don't know if you've seen them. They're $10.
Yep.
Yeah. So I always wondered, with as much time and effort as we put into humidification of cigars, how do you really know what's in your cigar?
Right.
So you don't.
So
a lot of people have preconceived notions of keeping it in humidity for 2 weeks, and ironically, the best use for this thing is when you buy mail order cigars. So just last week, I got 3 different cigars from a reputable retailer, not one of these cheap guys. And ironically, one of the cigars was 55%, one of them was 67%, the other one was 75%.
Wow.
So what I knew from that was the 67% one, I could smoke it right then and there. And in fact, I did that night. The 75 already had too much moisture, so that one would require dry boxing. To put in a humidor wouldn't do you any good. And the 55 one would require maybe weeks of humidification, and a lot of that depends on most of them obviously come in cellophane, but the cellophane does impede it. People say it does impede it, just like the wrapper of the cigar does. So if you have a cigar that comes in and it checks 47%, let's say, and it's in cellophane, that cigar could take months to acclimate. Months.
Wow.
And we've tested that, so we know. Yeah.
So
I mean, if you keep your cigars, you get them in and you keep them for 6 months and you let them acclimate, or you want to age them, eventually they will all come either down or up with Boveda, which I'm a strong believer of, by the way. I have tested it against Boveda, and I've even talked to Rob about his product and how we've used it through our testing and calibration and such. So
it's an amazing product, and I really don't think there's a substitute for it.
Well, there isn't, and we've been really surprised by the acceptance of this, and people, in fact, it's gotten a lot of international acclaim. We've just this past week, we've had 2 people in France posted on YouTube and made videos of it, and sold a lot to Canada. We've sold to pretty much half of all the countries in the world currently have these meters for sale.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on that. So I'm gonna share this with my viewers, and I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Brian. Anytime.